In the dark spaces between the stars, where time coils in silence and the void swells with forgotten screams, two forces begin to stir, both ancient in spirit, and both defined not by who they are, but by what the universe has made them become. Rage, in its rawest and most unrelenting form, is not merely an emotion but an entity, alive, multiplying, searching endlessly for an outlet. In one corner of existence, that rage took shape as a green behemoth cursed by brilliance and accident. Bruce Banner, whose fractured mind gave rise to the Hulk, an avatar of wrath-given form. On another side of the cosmos, from a tragedy woven by the arrogance of gods, rose Mangog, born of a billion souls consumed by vengeance, their collective hatred molded into one monstrous force. The cosmos had long held its breath from the moment these two existences emerged. Not even the Watchers could foresee what would happen should they ever collide. It was not simply a clash of fists and fury, but of meaning and justification. For Hulk's rage, though terrifying and seismic, had always been reactive, a scream against pain, betrayal, isolation. Mangog's fury, however, was punitive, a cold cosmic sentence carried out by an entity whose only purpose was to punish gods and their creations. Hulk was the unwanted child of science, cursed with immortality and rejection. Mangog was judgment incarnate, carrying forward the cries of the unjustly slain. One fights because he must, the other fights because all else must fall. As the Nine Realms begin to quiver once more beneath Mangog's return, resurrected by the collective anger of civilizations destroyed in the aftermath of Asgardian dominion, he sets his eyes upon Midgard, the earth. The sins of the gods bleed into the clay of their creations. He bellows as he tears through dimensions, leaving behind a wake of collapsed realities and fading stars. Earth, though never directly complicit, had long held its share of God-born interference. Mangog sees it not as innocent, but as infected, an extension of divine error, worthy of purification through annihilation. The Avengers assemble to resist him, but even Thor, with Mjolnir reforged from storm and starfire, cannot stem the tide. Mangog breaks through every defense, shattering cosmic artifacts and dismantling enchanted barriers as if they were twigs beneath his hooves. And then, Banner steps forward, quiet, calm, resolute. In the shadows of collapsing towers and burning skies, he looks up and whispers, he's not just rage. He's pain, and he's ready. As he steps into the battlefront, Banner does not scream. He simply lets go. The transformation is immediate, but it is not Savage Hulk, not even World War Hulk. It is World Breaker Hulk, the embodiment of planetary rage, fueled by cosmic injustice, betrayal, and endless torment. The ground splits beneath his feet, tectonic plates shift. His skin pulses with green energy like molten lava. Hulk looks into the sky, not just at Mangog, but through him. And in this calm before the true storm, a strange thing happens. Words. You are rage, Mangog snarls. You are my brother in fury. Join me. Let this pathetic sphere fall. Hulk's eyes narrow. No, you're hate. I'm hurt. I don't destroy because it's deserved. I destroy because I'm broken. That makes me dangerous, but it also makes me more than you. Mangog laughs, shaking the heavens. Pain makes you weak. Hulk answers with no smile, only truth. Pain makes me angry, and anger makes me stronger. Thus, the philosophical boundary is drawn, not merely a clash of power, but of purpose. Mangog's rage is alien, cold, built upon second-hand injustice. He carries the grief of others and weaponizes it without compassion. But Hulk is personal. Hulk knows the sting of betrayal by friends, the horror of being hunted by governments, the isolation of living as a monster among those who pretend to understand. His anger is raw and ever-growing, but it is rooted in identity. Hulk doesn't fight because others tell him to. He fights because he has to. And in that unwillingness, in that battle to simply exist, he becomes something Mangog can never be, self-aware. As they rise into the atmosphere, the clouds blacken, planets look on in horror, and the fabric of reality begins to hum under the weight of what's coming. The philosophical line has been drawn. The war for meaning is about to begin. The war of wrath, and while Mangog moves first, He hurls down from the sky like a falling god, fists the size of mountains crashing toward Hulk with the full hatred of a billion voices. The impact shatters the Rockies, flattens cities, and sends shockwaves across oceans. But from the crater rises Hulk, no longer roaring like a beast, but seething in a silence that is more terrifying. His first punch hits Mangog with the force of a dying star, hurling the beast across the continent. Earth quakes as Mangog crashes through the crust and into the molten core. In seconds, he returns, molten fire dripping from his jaws. The fight moves at speeds no eye can follow. Each punch could obliterate moons. Each roar destabilizes satellites. Hulk's strength escalates with every blow he takes. As Mangog crushes him into the Rockies, Hulk emerges stronger, glowing with gamma energy, his veins alight with power no longer simply physical, existential. He is becoming more than rage. He is becoming defiance. Mangog grows in size, feeding off the ambient fear, the cries of those fleeing the battlefield. He draws in the hatred of the forgotten, the persecuted, and the wronged across galaxies. He swings the Odin sword, cleaving valleys and parting oceans. He conjures dark matter spears and cosmic chains, none of which bind Hulk. With every injury Hulk takes, he rises, faster, stronger, more determined. As the battle levels continents, something deeper begins to show. Mangog, once unstoppable, begins to realize something terrifying. His hate has limits. It is immense, cosmic even, but it is still tethered to the injustice of others. Hulk's rage, however, is a bottomless chasm. It does not need to borrow pain. It is pain. Hulk's fury is not borrowed from the dead, it is his life. They clash, again atop a shattered volcano. Mangog crushes Hulk's skull into lava, but Hulk only bellows, erupting upward, splitting the mountain in half. You fight for voices that are gone, Hulk growls. I fight because I'm still here. Mangog summons Godfire, scorching the skies with a scream. Hulk catches it, and consumes the energy. His body pulses brighter, muscles thick with wrath incarnate. The ground beneath begins to rise, tectonic plates forced upward by Hulk's gravitational rage. With a single leap, Hulk slams into Mangog and punches him through the moon. The soundless crack echoes through space. Still, Mangog rises, barely. He conjures a shadow storm of hatred, a wave of dead gods whispering judgment. But Hulk rips through them, not with power alone, but purpose. I've lived through every death wish, he shouts. I've been hunted, hated, caged, and I still rise. Mangog finally falters. His blows slow. His voice dims. For the first time, the fury of a billion screams meets something worse. A rage that never ends. A rage tied not to death, but to survival. In the final blow, Hulk grabs Mangog and drives him into the heart of the earth, gamma waves surging like a sun beneath the crust. The impact cracks the planet's magnetic field. A silence follows, brief, eternal. Mangog stirs and crumbles. Not dead, but defeated. His form dissolves, not because Hulk has overpowered him, but because Hulk has outlasted him. There is no hate in the cosmos that can match the fury of a soul that refuses to die, refuses to give in. And Hulk stands there, not in triumph, but in silence. For him, victory is not peace. It is simply the absence of anyone else strong enough to break him. And in that, he is finally alone. The world breathes again, knowing it will never truly understand the thing it calls monster. But in this battle, that monster was the only one strong enough to save it.